I do have a few small bars. The phone does pick up the Wi-Fi in this room, so I'm hopeful that everything will be fine.
Yeah.
Not linked.
That was Cody.
Not linked.
Okay, Tom has chosen to talk on this frequency. That's KF0. I need to not do that. Five. That's why things are having problems. We're doing a live stream on 525. Okay. You cozy. It's cozy in here. Oh boy. No. Are you? I wasn't saying turn it off.
No, you're good. We have to turn it off.
Oh, okay. For the.
This is on, so when Cody comes in, it's seamless. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're ready.
All right, right on. I'm ready to go too. Just getting on. Oh wow, there is no Wi-Fi in here on this phone. That's not good. How in the world? That may be a. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to show them. I'm worried that if this phone is in proximity to this other hotspot, that it's going to jack up its available networks. Boy, I hope this doesn't backfire. We don't have Wi-Fi there. It's connecting now. I wonder if by the fact that it's in proximity to this hotspot with all the EMF, that it's going to struggle with. Okay, they're connected over here just fine. So I'm going to kind of keep it away from there for a while. I'll put it in proximity to the hotspot as I use it. Is that okay? I know where you want me to be, okay?
Yeah, just know when they do need to see it.
Yeah, I don't want to be going in and out. I want them to just see how to turn on the hotspot. But I think I'm going to need it away from the RF stuff, that device.
Right.
Now, taking this computer off of, I don't know if we can, in order to be able to look at the Pi Star, it will remove the feed. I'll have to put it over on the network if I disconnect the Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Ron with Bridgecom Systems, and I want to thank you so much for being here. We're going to be having a great live stream today, and I want to thank you for spending your morning with us. Just keep in mind, we may have a small technical difficulty with the front camera. It seems like it's stuttering, but the audio should be passing through just fine. And of course, as we jump over into computer, you may be okay on that. But we're going to get by with what we've got. And anyway, we've got a nice stream for you today. I've got the show notes that hopefully you've got a link to, and I'm going to be referencing these. But today I am going to show you how to get more freedom with your hotspot and your ham radio experience with DMR in particular. Just a couple items. The 7.3 giveaway is still going on. Wanted you to enter that. And secondly, we just crossed over 10,000 BCU members. People are enjoying the course. It's really, we're really excited to see you guys enjoying that training and taking advantage of that. If you guys purchase your radio from us, you get that for free. And we're just grateful for you taking that. We're adding content all the time. Also, we're just about over 10,000 group members in our official Facebook group page. And if you're not a member yet, we invite you to do that as well, because there are a lot of folks in there that are willing to help. We're always in there helping, and we can get you the information you want, because we're all on this journey together and we're learning. And this live stream is a part of that journey. I've been doing these live streams now for about 12 weeks. We got this BCU playlist going on our YouTube channel, so we'll move that over once this is done. But so let's just jump in. We're going to do something with your hotspot here on how to untether it from your network. So anyway, it's all about freedom. So who, in referencing the notes, who doesn't want more freedom? In today's live stream, I'm going to show you how to enable Wi-Fi on your hotspot. And this will allow you to operate your hotspot untethered from a router and give you the more freedom in your ham radio journey. Okay, a hotspot like the SkyBridge here on the desk here is running Pi-Star on the Raspberry Pi that's built in, and this allows you to take your hotspot anywhere in your house. As long as you can turn your cell phone into a wireless hotspot, you'll be able to drive down the road having QSOs with anyone in the world. So this gives you a lot of freedom that it really enhances your experience with doing ham radio. You can be talking to people all over the world through your radio as it's talking through your hotspot, as it talks through your cellular phone's network. I think this is really cool. This is something that I've been wanting to do for myself. I've heard about people that I've talked to, they say, oh, I'm talking to you on my, I'm driving down the road in my truck or whatever, and, it's like they're right there on a repeater. So this gives you a lot of freedom as long as you're connected to a cellular phone network. So I'm going to show you how to do these tasks today. So what we want to do is we want to log in to the Pi-Star dashboard. So let's just jump in the computer, and I'm going to get the IP address from the physical connection. I've got the physical connection to the RJ45 port for the in-house Wi-Fi, and I'm on 192.168.1.177. And you can either get that if you've got a hotspot with a display, or log into your router to do that. So we're at 192.160. I'm going to...
KA2Y, listening. KA2Y.
Got somebody coming in. 177. Okay. Oops. Okay. Okay, so we're logged in. And what we want to do is we want to click on the configuration. And of course, the standard Pi-Star, Pi-Star, Raspberry is the password. And we don't want to save that. Okay, and as we did update the to the latest Pi-Star last week, because we showed you guys how to do a backup for your Pi-Star SD card. And I hope you guys had a lot of success with that. And if reference back to the last week's YouTube video, and you guys can check that out. But anyway, what came up was an alert up here. It says you are running a hotspot in public mode without an access list for DMR. This setup could participate in network loops. Okay, I saw that alert. I don't know what to do with that at this point, so I'm going to just leave that be and focus on the, I didn't see a problem when I was doing some testing, so I'm going to leave that be. So what we want to do is we want to scroll down to the wireless configuration, which is down here at the bottom, and we want to click on Configure Wi-Fi. Okay. Now, it's going to ask Wi-Fi regulatory domain, country code, put the appropriate code in. There's a drop-down menu here. Of course, we're in the United States, so I'm going to leave that be. And then I'm going to click on this Scan for Networks. This is item number 4 in our list here. So it's going to take a moment, and it's showing me all the available networks that this hotspot sees. And it does not see our in-house Wi-Fi. So I'm going to scan again. I should be seeing, okay, there it is right there, Bridgecom 2G. Okay, so that's the one I want, and I sure hope we can see all this. The Wi-Fi is over on the other side of the room in the building. So I'm going to go ahead and select this, and then what happens is you're going to see this thing pop up where it's going to have the SSID, which in this case is Bridgecom 2G. And by the way, everything's 2.4G with this particular hotspot. And then you want to put in the PSK, which is basically your Wi-Fi password. So I'm going to type that in here. And then I am going to save and connect. Okay, and then it's going to want me to close that out. Okay. All right. Okay, at this point you will need to disconnect your physical network connection and then cycle the power of the hotspot. Okay. So I'm going to do that, and once restarted, if all goes well, the hotspot will connect to the various program networks. Okay. So I'm going to try that. So if you want to come over here and take a look at what I'm about to do, I'm going to go ahead and withdraw the physical RJ45 connector, and I am going to power it down, and I am going to restart it. And if all goes well, this should connect to our in-house Wi-Fi. So it takes a moment to boot. But this is the steps you need to do, okay? All you have to do is search for those networks and then pick the one that your dwelling has, type in the password, and make sure everything's case sensitive. Okay, so I'm back up. It's initializing, and yes, I did connect. Or did I? I don't know if it did. I don't know if it found it. This is 169. I don't think it found it, because it's not showing up an IP that's 169.168. I am going to try it again. I have a feeling it didn't see it just because of the, it can't see it in here. We may, by the way, my phone picks up the Wi-Fi. And if it doesn't, I'll bring it back. But this is something to be mindful of. If you do connect your network to a Wi-Fi, an in-house Wi-Fi, you just want to make sure you can see it. And sometimes it tends to come and go. which it seems like what I'm experiencing right now. Okay, it does not, it's not. Let me restart it with the cable plugged back in. I have to scrap this. Okay, it started. Okay, I'm at 177. Same thing here. Let me restart this. I may have to scrap the Wi-Fi in the shop here. Okay. Interfaces. Okay. Let me show you what happens here that you can check out. So hopping back into the computer, I want to show you where you can go and see what your Wi-Fi connections look like. So we're going to click on this Expert tab, and this here is in the show notes because we got potential. If your hotspot won't connect to your Wi-Fi, it might be that you've mistyped the password. To check to see that you've typed the password, you can do the following. So go to this Expert, then click on this Wi-Fi setting on the second row. Okay, and this is going to pull up your SSID as well as the password. So this is where you can actually see the network. So it is trying to connect to the Bridgecom-2, and you can see my password there. And this is where you can actually inspect the password, and that password is typed in correctly. So I don't think it's the fact that I've got a issue with the password. I think it's because I'm struggling to get Wi-Fi in the video room here for this. The Raspberry Pi is struggling to pick it up. So keep that in mind as you locate your hotspot in proximity to the Wi-Fi. And we might be skipping that. Let me scan for the networks again. I'm going to configure Wi-Fi. I'm just going to scan for networks and just see if it sees it. It struggled the first time, and you can get a signal strength meter here. So it's waiting. It sees it down there, but it's minus 83 dBm. It's kind of off a ways. I'm going to, but that's how you connect the, that's how you get your Wi-Fi connected to your hotspot. So what we're going to try now is we're going to go ahead and connect to your cell phone. So I've got an Android phone here. And I agree with the BSD guy. Keep it on the cable if you can. It's more stable in your house. If you can just connect it right to your router with a cable like we've done. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to turn on. Well, first of all, I want to turn off my. Just showing you guys my phone here. I'm going to disconnect my, well, I don't want to do that yet. I want to, let's go to item number 1, connecting through your smartphone. So we want to turn off our connection. I'm going to disable our connection to, turn off my Wi-Fi altogether on my phone so that I pull my IP connections from the cellular network. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on mobile hotspot, and you can see that here. Okay, so that little icon up there tells me it's on. So now what I want to do is I want to scan for networks. So this is what I'm doing now is I want to, I'm going to connect to my cell phone's hotspot. So I'm going to put that over here so that I make sure I'm connected to the cell phone. Okay, and there I am. I'm Ron's 10X hotspot. So that's me, and you can see -8 dBm. I'm right there. So I'm going to select that. Okay, and I'm going to type in my password. So hopefully you guys have a phone that you can turn into a hotspot. So I'm going to save and connect. And then I'm going to show you guys that it adjusted my so there I added another network, Ron's 10X hotspot right there. So now I know I've got two networks. As you move the Pi around, like if you take it with you, you come back into the house, it's smart enough to know where to connect to the network. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just power it down. We're going to test this right now because if it can't see the in-house Wi-Fi, it's going to automatically connect to my smartphone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and jump back over here, and I'm going to disconnect the physical connection, and I'm going to unplug the hotspot, and I've got my smartphone over here, and hopefully this SkyBridge will connect to my smartphone. And we'll do a test because it's got Wi-Fi right there. So it's initializing. I'll pick that up later. Okay. Okay, so it connected, I believe, to the hotspot. And because it's on 168.98.182, which is not our IP. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a quick QSO to the parrot. And yeah, it looks like I'm getting traffic. That looks like the from the previous days. That is the DMR plus. So I'm going to disconnect from DMR plus.
Reflector disconnect.
Okay, I've disconnected from DMR plus. Okay, so I'm actually talking through the hotspot. And I am going to jump over to, hopefully you guys can see this. I'm going to jump over to there's the Brandmeister hotspot zone. And I'm going to key into the parrot. KC0QVT.
KC0QVT.
Okay, excellent. So what we've demonstrated is that we are now connected to the hotspot, and it's running through my cell phone, okay, which is really cool. So, and also what it demonstrated was, okay, so since I'm not in proximity to my Wi-Fi in my shop, it saw those two network connections that I've programmed, it scanned for them and found the best one and chose to connect to that. So it's smart enough to know where to go. KC0QVT. Yep.
KC0QVT.
Okay. All right. So that's how you do that. You connect your, what's up? Okay. You got, you now have it connected to your cellular phone. So what I can do now is I can disconnect my internet from my computer here, and Yeah.
Hi everyone, Cody, W3AMG. So we're going to show you how to connect it up to an iPhone. Let me come over
what I
here.
also wanted to show, when you go ahead and power it down and restart it, we can show them that it operating off a battery backup. So that way, this is, you know, like right now we're in the shop here, powered from the AC line, and having a battery will definitely give you a lot more freedom. So we'll show you that too. So.
Absolutely. So for the iPhone, it's a real simple process. We're going to show you what it looks like here. So you just go into your settings to find out your information. Now you do have to make sure Wi-Fi is turned on. It doesn't have to be connected to a network, but as long as it's turned on, you'll have good luck. And then go into personal hotspot. And then here in these quotation marks down in these notes here, you'll see that is the name of the network. And then up here, that is the password. So we're going to go ahead and connect up to our hotspot via Pi-Star and enter that information.
Okay, so do you have your hotspot turned on?
I do.
Okay, so we can scan for that network as
You
well.
should be able to scan for it. Configure Wi-Fi.
Yeah. You can use the mouse if you want. There's
Okay.
scan.
So we can scan for networks. I typically enter it manually, but you can scan for it as well. Either way will work. And this really is a pretty simple process. It can be a little finicky at times. There's some things to watch out for, as if you have like an extra space at the end of your password and you don't realize it, that'll catch people out. I've seen that a million times. But in general, it's a pretty simple process. Let's see, we lose connection to
Yeah,
it.
let me, I think we've lost, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to take this, we are, yeah, let me, I'll put that right there. I'm going to actually connect this. We want to, let's go ahead and restore the physical connection because it's going through my hotspot now.
Yeah, we can disconnect from everything else.
All right, because we're going to restart it. When you have it physically connected, it will actually, that becomes the priority, the physical connection. So we're going to go back to where I was before, where everything is connected straight up to the in-house network on a physical connection. And just let it boot up. And I'm going to turn off my hotspot here. And we're initializing still. And we're on 177 just like normal. And what I'm going to do is, okay, so we're physically connected to the 2G. We're actually on, okay, so go ahead and configure Wi-Fi.
We can configure the Wi-Fi.
Yep.
And then easiest way to do it is just click Scan for Networks, and it should be able to find this one here.
Yep, it takes a moment.
Okay. And here we go. We can see the 9,000, so we verify over here. That's what this hotspot is called, so we're going to select that one. And then up in this field, the Wi-Fi password, we see it's W3AMG and then hotspot in lowercase, so we're going to go ahead and type that in. And then just go ahead and save and connect. Okay, there we go. And then once that's finished, then we can go ahead and restart the hotspot here.
Okay, so QSO, okay. Now go ahead and power it from the Yeah, go ahead and disconnect it from the
Then
physical connection.
This time we're going to try it out with the battery pack. So this actually comes with every SkyBridge Plus. These are awesome. You can run the SkyBridge for a real long time off of them. Take it with you wherever you go. There we go. So we'll power it back up. Now when you power this on, make sure you actually have your hotspot screen pulled up on your iPhone. On iPhones, if you don't have this screen pulled up, it won't be able to connect. Once it's connected, it'll connect over and over again without that. But when you do that initial connection, you want to have this pulled up. So we'll wait for it here.
And again, the key for all of these is to get your SSID and your password correct, and the SkyBridge will be able to connect to that network. It will find its way. Okay. Let's see, what is it?
What did we?
Okay, it actually connected to the in-house Wi-Fi
Okay.
this time.
Can we forget that network on
Yeah,
there?
let's do that.
So if you have multiple networks connected, sometimes it will connect to one or over the other. So generally, I like to have it set up just to have like my personal hotspot and then Ethernet. So I use the Ethernet at home for the best connection, and then when I leave, it automatically connects to the personal hotspot as
Yeah.
opposed to getting confused over the networks.
Okay, so it's connected here to 1.29, which is our in-house Wi-Fi. So what I was trying to do earlier with the Wi-Fi, it's now working. So it's seeing that. Now we want it to, we want to trick it so that it can't see the in-house network, so that it goes and jumps over onto his iPhone. So let me log in there real quick. Okay. It's amazing. Everything's just working now, like I wanted it to earlier. So yeah, we are connected to the Wi-Fi in-house. Let me just quickly do a QSO KC0QVT.
JC0QVT.
Okay, you can see I'm on my Bridgecom 2G network, okay? So that's good. That was what I was trying to do earlier. So it has 3 networks in it. It's got our in-house Wi-Fi, it's got the hotspot from my cell phone, and now it's got Cody's hotspot. Now I've turned off my hotspot, so it should, if we go in here and look at configure Wi-Fi, I am going to trick it, and I'm going to delete network 0, because I don't want it to jump on our I don't want it on that network. And so I'm going to save and connect, and that should delete that the SkyBridge's knowing of the network. Now the fact that we may have to restart it.
Yeah, we'll have to restart it one
Okay.
more time. You ready?
Okay. So go ahead and restart it. Let me just, okay, so it did try to reconnect to that network again, because it's what it has in memory, but
Okay, so now we should be able to see, you'll be able to see it on the iPhone. Once it connects, it'll show up with it.
also just I had a small issue with both of those two RF devices being in close proximity to one another, that I found there might be some interference between
Okay.
the two. It might disrupt the ability of the SkyBridge to see. You know how you guys seen the part 15, if this device causes interference or whatever, you know, move it around and make it take the appropriate steps to. And if it does take too long, you may have to go back to the physical connection to see what happened. I wonder if it deleted all the networks. Let's take a look at that. It shouldn't be taking that long. Let's put
No,
this
it
back.
should power up straight
Yeah,
away.
I want to just double check this.
And just be patient with it, folks. Sometimes things like this happen. You just have to work through, figure out, what went wrong. Like I said, it's super easy to, accidentally add a space in the password somewhere.
Yeah.
You just have to be patient with wireless.
Okay, well, what we did was we tried to delete the 2G network in the shop, and it did not come back up. So let's see what happened. And sometimes also your hotspot will time out if there's no devices connected to it. I know on the Android it'll eventually say no devices connected for a period of time, and it will it'll just go away, and then you're wondering what happened as well. All right, we're booted back up. So we are on 177 as we were before. So let me type that back in. All right, so we're going to go to configuration. And then we're going to go down here and once again scan for configure Wi-Fi. We're going to scan for, well, you know what, let's just real quick, let's take a look at what, well, it looks like Cody's hotspot's not in there anymore. It got deleted for some reason. And we can go up here to the expert and let's check out Wi-Fi. Okay, for some reason it didn't store. When you deleted that, when we deleted the 2G, it deleted both of them for some reason. So let's go back and scan for that again and just enter it in.
We'll enter it in real quick.
Yeah, because it didn't see any networks.
Okay, and I'll show you how to enter one manually if you ever are in that situation.
Okay.
And then the password. There we go, and then just the same, hit save and connect. And this way you can set your hotspot up for maybe your home, your work Wi-Fi, your cell phone Wi-Fi, and even if you're not in connectivity to those networks. Okay, don't need to worry about saving that. Everything looks good, so now we can go ahead and reboot the hotspot again. So I'm going to turn it off, and then we'll unplug it from the Ethernet. And then we're going to turn it back on here.
Yeah, having your hotspot connected to your cell phone is really cool, and that you can drive down the road and be talking to people. And once all this is set up, you won't have to do it anymore. So, are you sure your hotspot's is it?
Oh, it's turned on.
Okay.
Assuming the SkyBridge has it.
It's not seeing it.
No.
And it's on. It didn't.
No, it's on. We're all good here. We got Wi-Fi turned on.
Okay.
We got the hotspot.
Let's see why. Let's see why it didn't find it. I mean, we'll go back and look at the expert status. Let's just restart it again. Get it back on the 177 on the internal network. Trial and error, folks. We'll get this going. We got it hooked up to the Android. And setting up these wires on this wireless configuration page, it's kind of troublesome at times. I've noticed. We just saw an issue where we deleted a network and it took out 2 networks for some reason. So we're not sure about that. So let's just make sure that the connection did get set up in the expert status. We'll go and peek at that real quick once this thing reboots.
Yeah, definitely wired is the way to go if you have access to it. But once you get it set up with the wireless, it's pretty much seamless every time. Like once it's on a wireless connection, every time you reboot it, it powers right back up and connects to it. I've got one on my desk. It does that whenever I turn it on. It connects to my phone.
Okay.
Works great once you get it set up, but that's why we kind of recommend going wired right out the box. Easy to get set up, but once you have the wireless set up, it works well over and over again.
Okay, so we're back in the configuration. Let's go to expert and just see if it put the Wi-Fi credentials in there for both networks. Okay, so there is the there's the SSID, and that's what it should have found. Does that look? Does that?
Well, it needs to be a capital on the T in the SSID, so it must not have taken that.
Okay, so there's the issue. The password was not Right.
Password is all good. It's the SSID,
The SSID, so it should be the as in capital T.
capital T.
All right, so we can fix this right here,
Yep.
folks. This is why maybe some of you guys can't get connected to Wi-Fi. And there's a good example. So this, we're going to apply these changes, and we'll just go down here, and we should be able to restart.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll
just
restart
like
it
you
one more
did.
time. Everything's applied. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. And that just goes to show one little, change in the character, something you wouldn't even notice will make a big difference here. So.
Yeah, and this brings to light, when we first started shipping these, we actually would set up the hotspot with Wi-Fi, and we just had a lot of problems. And it was because customers would hand us, a password that they thought it was, and sometimes these passwords can be quite cryptic. So we would type them in, the customer would get them, hook it all up because they weren't physically connecting to the network, and then it wouldn't work. And we would spend a lot of time trying to get these to work. So we abandoned doing setup for Wi-Fi, as you can see. So if you make a mistake, or if we're given the wrong password, it creates a big headache. And so we just noticed that here. I can hear Cody, but Ron's in the mud. All right, it's not going to connect for some reason.
Okay.
Let's just do this.
Sure.
Let's just scan for the network. Let's set the Pi Star, find it. And I'm gonna. Yeah, when you see this initializing, it's not getting its orders, its marching orders from anywhere. So we can put this. That might help. It might help help him. There was a glare on that. Yeah, this was a risky live stream to try to do all this live and show everything, because this is what can happen. But we want you to see how it really is in the real world. This is what a lot of you guys go through, and we're wanting to show you that you can still do it. And we're gonna get this knocked out. So we're not despairing. Okay, so we're back here to configuration, and we're on the physical connection. And let's just go down here. I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to go up here to Expert, and we're going to wipe the slate clean. So I'm going to go to Wi-Fi, and here's what you can do to start all over. I'm going to take all this, and I'm just going to delete it. Okay, and then I'm going to do Apply. Okay, so this is how you can just start from scratch. Okay, so now I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going back down to the wireless configuration. I'm going to go to Configure Wi-Fi. And as you can see, there's no Wi-Fi information in there already. So go ahead and try to add your phone.
So we're going to scan for networks again. The phone is turned on, and as we can verify here, it's the 9000 is the name, and then the password, we can see it right there, W3AMG capitals, and then hotspot in lowercase.
Okay.
So there it is. Go ahead and select it, and make sure the caps lock is not turned on. There we go.
And we can verify your password once you enter it.
There we go. And then go ahead and save and connect. I wonder if we need to give this more time to configure it.
Well, we can do that. Let's just do this. Let's go back up here let's just verify what we wrote. So let's go up here to Expert, and let's go to Wi-Fi. And okay, there is everything you put in there. Look good?
Same as on here. It looks perfect.
Okay, so we should be in good order, and what will happen is if we reset and disconnect from the
We'll go ahead and
physical connection, it will hopefully connect to his iPhone.
And remember, on the iPhone, you do need to be on this page right here, or else it will not connect to it. And there we go. We can see the blue light up there that indicates that it's connected. And we can go ahead and once this powers on, we'll try out the Parrot. And once it's connected, you can, go home, turn off your phone, anything like that. It's not going to be a problem for you.
Wait, how do you know that it got connected?
We can see it up here.
Okay, so is that what that 1144 means?
It's just the fact that it turned blue. That
Okay.
indicates that it got connected, and
All right,
we're good to
cool.
go.
Yeah, and it did pull up an IP address right there, 172.20.10.3. So
Absolutely. So I'm going to try out the Parrot real quick. We're on 525. Yep, 446.525. This is W3AMG testing out the Skybridge Plus Parrot on my through my phone hotspot.
Through my phone hotspot.
There we go. So it's still powering up. We got the tail end of it. We'll try it again one more time here. This is W3AMG testing out the Skybridge Plus hotspot through a Wi-Fi network.
you get it to your speaker.
This is W3ANG testing out the Skybridge Plus hotspot through a Wi-Fi network.
Okay.
There we go. Check that out. It works.
Yeah, and this is cool. You still, everything's just, now you can basically go, he's got his phone, his radio, his cell phone, get in the car, and he's now in business, and everything's powered up. And this is, this is what I'm trying to show you guys today, is how you can basically take this hotspot, put your, you got your radio on your hip, you got your cell phone in your back pocket, and you just put this in the, put this in the console of the car in the back seat, and you're now free. So that's what I wanted to show you guys today. And so what we did by way of review is I connected it to the, first I tried to connect it to our in-house Wi-Fi. That didn't work, at least at first. I then connected it to my Android hotspot, and we got that working as demonstrated by talking through the Parrot. And of course, I wanted you guys to see what happens with the iPhone, because we've had people say, well, I can't get iPhone to work. And I wanted you guys to see, since Cody's an iPhone guy, we got him in here to show you that. So right now we have, we've demonstrated 3 connections: the in-house Wi-Fi, the Android, as well as the iPhone. So there's, I think all the bases are covered. So with that, unless you any pitfalls or anything.
Absolutely. One of the great things, once you get this set up, and I'll just repeat this, it will continue to work. I can unplug this right now. We'll restart it, and as long as I probably didn't give it enough time to disconnect. But once it disconnects from the network, it immediately connects back up afterwards. There's no messing around with trying to redo all this each time, because that will be a real headache. Once you get it set up, it works over and over again.
Right. And so in what I've demonstrated also is that as you move the Skybridge around and you turn off your phone's hotspot, you can set it back in the house, and it should automatically connect to your in-house Wi-Fi. It does seem to be smart enough. Once it gets gets all of the processing handled correctly, it will go and connect to the best network. David Nudie, you use an iPhone. I have to restart it like 10 times before it connects to my iPhone. What are you restarting, your iPhone or your hotspot? Okay.
Yeah, I just restarted the hotspot right here, and it connected right back up the iPhone.
Now, have you seen, I just read a little bit lower, he mentions that it wants to try to connect to anything in proximity. It should only try to connect to Wi-Fi's that it's actually in its list, correct? Because it's got a priority list.
Yeah, so it should only connect to the Wi-Fi's that you've added. Now, if you've added multiple Wi-Fi networks, it does struggle to choose between which one is best. Like we saw here, we had the phone sitting there, it connected to the shop Wi-Fi way out there. So really, it's best to narrow that list down to whatever networks you really want it to connect to and get rid of the ones that you don't.
Okay. Well, good. See, Dave states the hotspot he has to restart. Well, you saw what we had to do. We had to restart it a few times to get it to get it going really well. But we did have success. We're connected to Cody's I believe he's picking up a call right now on the, I believe that's the DMR Plus. And actually I could still, I could hit the KC0QVT. I'm just going to hit the parrot. Maybe. KC0QVT.
KC0QVT.
Okay. So, with that said, anyway, I think we're good.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for being patient. You saw the struggle. We understand it's real. We work with you guys all the time on making sure you're successful. You saw it real time, and we just invite you to try this out. It really frees up your hotspot. You should have got, you got a battery. You can connect it all up. It will work. This thing actually will power it for a long time. It's very impressive how long these battery banks will last. And this should free your ham radio up. So anyway, with that, guys, we'll let you go. 7-3, have a great afternoon.